division's obviously cooking up nicely at the moment. We've had a good few fights over the course of the last month or so. So just starting with yesterday, I know Dylan Whyte's a friend of yours as well. Dylan Whyte had a fight with Browne yesterday with a brutal knockout in the 6th round.
Very brutal.
No one was laughing. What was your thoughts on the whole fight as a whole?
My thoughts on it was knockouts hit me. I'm probably one of the few fighters, probably the only fighter that don't. I don't have family members or friends or things like that to say that will vouch and say that I was at fight parties. I don't go to fight parties. It's very rare I go to fights unless it's, the Dylans and Deontay's, something. Joseph Parker, these guys. I can't go to their fights to support them. And that's because when incidents like last night happen, it's very hard for me to sit around people high five and laugh and my approach is a little bit different. It's because number one, I'm in there. Number two, I know how hard these guys work. Number three, these guys got families, and it's such a serious moment. Yeah, I get it as entertainment. It's just hard for me to look at it from an entertainment perspective and just enjoy it with my popcorn. So the first thing that happened was I was so worried about Lucas Browne, which I have no type of relationship with. He's just a pugilist brother like we all are. And he's trying to make this for his family. But when I seen him fall like that, I was leaving out the arena. If you know how the O2 is shaped, once you leave a certain part of the ring, you walk all the way around to the X and then out. That whole walk around, I was looking at the ring. He was out the whole time. So by the time I seen him fall flat, by the time I left out of the exit of the O2, he still was asleep. You know what I mean? And I didn't even call it like that. If anything, I thought Dylan was stopping to the body. You know what I mean? Because I'm the one that gave Dylan the body snatcher name. Because I seen him hit a kid with a liver shot years and years ago. I'm like, bro, I ain't never seen a heavyweight throw that type of liver shot. Matter of fact, the only person I ever seen throw that kind of liver shot was Mike McCallum. Bro, you the heavyweight body snatcher. You get what I'm trying to say? I had him stopping Lucas Browne from a body shot. None of us recall Dylan clipping people like that. But all the hard work, all the being denied, all the just wanting, to be considered the elite, all the struggles, it all made sense for Dylan last night. That's why I was extremely proud of him, and I was happy that Lucas Browne was okay when it was all said and done. Because you know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, I want people to make it back home to their families and continue to provide and stuff like that. So, I was extremely proud of Dylan, and I was very happy that Lucas Browne was good.
Nice. Obviously, touch on what you say. Obviously, it's good or Lucas Browne's all good, but from Dylan Whyte's perspective, that was the best possible mark he could have made yesterday.
And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when Deontay Wilder had the second fight with Stavern. If he would have stopped Stavern in 6 or 8 rounds by TKO, it's a total different effect than how he did it in fashion. 1 round slaughter. If Dylan Whyte, that fight would have went more rounds, and let's say Lucas would have quit on the score, it still would have been a TKO. But those kind of performances don't hit the entertainment cycle how it's supposed to if people are not out cold. If people are not hurt so bad or in a position that they could be made fun of. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? This is boxing, this entertainment. So it's almost like they both, in my opinion, made that kind of statement. What that kind of statement means, I've never even seen AJ do what Deontay and Dylan Whyte do. Well, at least what Dylan Whyte did to Lucas Browne. It's not like he do that on regular. But, bro, AJ stopped guys from combination punches because he's one of the best combination punchers in the division. But now you got guys in the division that's going to sleep and looking like they just got shot dead. Like, you know what I mean? It's the heavyweight division, in my opinion, is the most violent division right now.
Of course.
Period. And we got tons of examples to go by.
And the example, just touching back a month or so back, with Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder, that was one hell of a fight. Let's bear in mind that Luis Ortiz in over 300 amateur fights had never been put down. Apparently, this is what the word was going into this fight, and obviously in his professional career, he never hit the canvas. Once Deontay landed that right hand clean, he was all over the place.
And then, if you don't mind, brother, because sometimes, if I'm talking about Deontay Wilder's power to people, being of the fact I got a good relationship with me like a brother to me, the typical person would say, it's probably exaggerating, it's a little biased. But I'm giving you an example. That first knockdown with Luis Ortiz that Deontay hit him with, I just looked at it again this morning. The right hand wasn't even flesh or on the chin. He literally, it was on the forehead. And not grazed, but it wasn't like a flesh shot. Luis Ortiz did a funny move because, the nerves of equilibrium. Then when he went down, he was so delirious that what just happened, he was looking at his corner like, what happened? That's how hard Deontay Wilder punched. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, for Ortiz to even come back from that and hurt Deontay goes to show the salute you gotta have for Ortiz.
Yeah.
Another reason why the heavyweight division is popping right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
just touching on that, like what's behind someone like Deontay Wilder, like that's freakish power when you look at that, yeah. So like,
you have to be born with it.
That's
and I believe the way Deontay Wilder is blessed with his athleticism, his aqua style, his God-given power. I feel as though Joseph Parker is blessed with his speed for a big man. I feel as though Dylan Whyte is blessed with his internal grit that he has. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, Dylan is a hell of a character, bro. Not playing, not action, not filming, but the man that he is. And that showed last night. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? That wasn't just boxing to me. That was his characters that got that done. Anthony Joshua is blessed in his own ways with attributes that you can't really teach nobody. And that's, to me, what's making the heavyweight division popping right now, because you have so many guys that's at the elite level, but they have God-given ability that can't be taught.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? So,
And I think it's a bonus that, as I said, we've got so many top heavyweights at the moment, but they're actually willing to fight each other as well. Which is obviously a blessing. You know? So I think
and then you got the hungry young lions coming up, the Jarrell Millers. Dylan Whyte is still in he still won his shot. Name a couple of, in my opinion, Gerald Washington is still dangerous. You got fucking, it's so many. It's so like, well, the heavyweight.
I remember watching actually Gerald Washington. He's an ex-football player, isn't he? So I remember watching the start of his career, and he was just blowing everyone out. And then I think I remember seeing one defeat. You know, I think he was stopped pretty early in that fight, and then
what defeat?
It was his first defeat. That's what I remember.
Against Deontay.
Was it Deontay? Was that his first defeat?
And most people had him actually winning the fight. People was criticizing Deontay so bad because they was like, well, Gerald Washington was beating him. Gerald Washington can fight. Gerald Washington is awkward. Gerald Washington is big and not slow. But, you know, the typical fan is not mentally cognizant of the attributes of somebody that's not considered the quote-unquote favorite of the public. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but it's so many young, like Darmani Rock from Philadelphia. He's another one that's coming up. There's so many guys coming up. This heavyweight division is serious. What about the Povetkin's and Price fight?
Yeah, exactly.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just so much.
We got some solid cruiserweights out there as well that potentially can move up to the heavyweight division.
From what I'm hearing, Usyk is saying he's going to come up if he, get past Browne, which is a very, very tough task.
So that's his game plan. Obviously, he's looking to come up. What do you make of the talk? I know it's quite far fetched, but Andre Ward's mentioned in the past that he fancies his chancellor against bigger fighters. How would you see that pan out for someone like Andre Ward, who's obviously a Hall of Fame fighter, but if he was to make the transition into heavyweight, what impacts do you reckon that could have, on him as a fighter?
I think, I believe, first of all, I got a lot of respect for Andre. Yes, you can't not salute him for the history he's made. But in my opinion, when you're talking about the heavyweight division, I believe he could be successful the same way Roy Jones was. It takes a certain heavyweight for him to fight. And him and Virgil knows this. They're not really trying to, at least what I believe, they're not trying to fight any or every kind of heavyweight. I don't think they're trying to call out Deontay Wilder. I don't think they mean really trying to call out the AJs. But if they could get like the 2018 John Ruiz, they'll go for it. And that's the perspective I get from them when I say it. And shout out to Dre, because even that's dangerous. Roy Jones made that look like that Ruiz. But you ask anybody else that fought Ruiz, they call him very, very heavy-handed, very, very awkward, very, very tough. He was heavyweight champion of the world for a reason. But it was sometimes the ability of two fighters. One could be successful, but he may not be as athletic as someone a little under him. That one that's a little under him could come up and beat him. And that's, to me, what happened with Roy and Ruiz. Roy was so much of a super athlete and so gifted that Ruiz had the belt at the right time, and Roy was able to take advantage of it and get the title.